we are going to discuss about the different case laws related to the women rights. So this video will be useful for writing different issues related to the women, whether it is a gender inequality issue, whether it is sexual harassment issue, related issue. It can be useful in GS1, that is the Indian society. It can be useful in GS2. Some specific question can also be asked. What are the important Supreme Court judgments related to the rights of women? In GS2 there is social justice chapter is also there, where in these cases can be useful, as well as in the case study. Every year 1 or 2 cases related to the women are asked in the case studies in ethics GS4. There also we can use these case laws. So let us see this important 6 case laws. The first case law is Visakha versus State of Rajasthan of 1997. This is one of the very important judgment where Supreme Court have addressed the issue of sexual harassment at workplace. In this judgment, Supreme Court gave certain guidelines to be followed by the different workplace organizations to prevent the sexual harassment against women. On the light of this judgment only, in 2013, POS Act, that is the Prevention of Sexual Harassment at the Workplace Act 2013 was passed. The second important judgment was Suchita Srivastav versus Chandigarh Administration of 2009. In this case, Supreme Court upheld the right to make reproductive choices. That is, the bodily integrity is the fundamental. It is a very important right for the women, and they have the all right to make their reproductive decisions and the choices. Next important case is the Saira Bano versus Union of India case of 2017. In this case, Supreme Court declared that instant triple talaq, as unconstitutional, marking that the discrimination against the women under the instant triple talaq was considered unconstitutional and upheld the right of the women, that is the gender equality. Next is the Joseph Singh versus Union of India case of 2018. In this case, Supreme Court decriminalized adultery, which was there in IPC earlier, IPC section 497, saying that it was discriminatory against the women, and hence by striking down IPC section 497, that is the adultery, Supreme Court upheld gender equality in the marital relationships. Next important case is the Indian Young Lawyers Association versus State of Kerala. It is also popularly known as the Sabrimala case of 2018. In this case, Supreme Court allowed women of all ages to enter the Sabrimala temple. Hence, with this judgment, Supreme Court challenged the gender-based discrimination in religious practices. So, this was also very, very significant judgment in which Supreme Court ensured the gender equality, especially practicing the religious practices. Next important case and very important case is the Secretary Ministry of Defence versus Babita Punya case of 2020. This is a landmark judgment in which the Supreme Court granted women permanent commission in the Indian Army and Navy. Before that, the permanent commission was not allowed. So through this, Supreme Court allowed. Also, Supreme Court open up combat roles for the women, ensuring gender equality in the armed forces. So these are in brief a very brief video in which we have discussed some of the important and very significant judgments related to the rights for the women.